Let me introduce myself. My name is Al Novenic, aka Big Al, running for United States Congressman, 3rd Congressional District, North Carolina. A little bit about my background. I retired from the Marine Corps as a first sergeant. I am finishing up my 4th master's degree program, and I am presently enrolled in a PhD program under public administration. The video today is about housing. I have a 10-point rule on how to fix the housing market. When I retired from the Marine Corps, I became a realtor, so for the last 6 years I've been doing realty. So I'm well aware of the problems we have in the housing market today. So I created a 10-point rule, 10 things we need to do which would correct the housing market within 1 or 2 years. So number one, what we need to do first is bring back the first-time homeowners program, which we had back in, I think it was 2008, 2009, 2010. This program brought in 2.5 million new homeowners. So we need to bring back that program. You can see how beneficial that program was. Number two, we need to put more emphasis on the ability to pay a mortgage and not the FICO score. So over time, over the last number of years, people's FICO scores have gone down, which is your credit score, because of the economy. So maybe you were late on a credit card payment or a car payment, and your FICO score came down. That shouldn't be the main thing. It should be ability to pay. If you have the ability to pay the mortgage, then you get the loan. Number three, drop HOA restrictions. Realtors understand these. There's certain FHA and VA HOA restrictions. The two main one, of course, is 50% owner-occupied or more, and less than 15% HOA dues in arrears. We need to get rid of them because that's stopping a number of people from entering the housing market. FHA, number four is FHA 100% financing. Why can't FHA for 1 or 2 years waiver the 3.5% down payment? A lot of people that want to buy into the housing market don't have the ability to pay that 3.5% FHA down payment plus the closing costs. So what we need to do is just FHA waiver that for 1 or 2 years and do 100% financing. Number five, change PMI and MI. The big thing about MI is that it counts against your debt to income ratio, where PMI doesn't. So 4 years ago, MI was 0.55% mortgage insurance per year, but now it's 1.75. So that is a big deterrent to debt to income ratio for what you can pay for a house, and it keeps some people out of the housing market because of that. If the government wants to make a little extra money, they can raise PMI, which is a one-time primary mortgage insurance, and it doesn't count against debt to income ratio. Plus, you can roll it into the loan. Number six, waiver bankruptcy, short sales, and foreclosures to 1 year. Like I said, a lot of people have been having problems with the economy, and they got their hours cut or they got laid off, and they either do a short sale or bankruptcy or foreclosure due to no fault of their own. So if you have good credit and no late payments in the last year, that should be waivered. Number seven, self-employed compared to W-2 employees. W-2 employees only have to show 1 year taxes, where self-employed usually have to pay or show 2 years. It should be 1 year across the board. Number eight, debt to income ratio for self-employees, which follows number seven. The debt to income ratio is different for self-employed than W-2 employees. W-2 employees does a debt to income ratio on their gross income, where self-employed personnel get their debt to income ratio on their adjusted gross income, so it could be lower because of their write-offs. Number 9, BAH rule. When you're, now this is close to my heart because I'm retired military. When you're on active duty, you get basic housing allowance. And it depends where you're stationed, what you get, and what rank. But you get this money, and if you're on active duty and you get it, then you can put it towards your debt-to-income ratio as part of your income. But since now we're releasing all these military personnel and they're getting their college funds for 3 years, up to 36 months, they get the same thing, the BAH, Basic Housing Allowance, which is the exact same thing as when you're on active duty. But when you're going to college, you can't use it for debt-to-income ratio, which you should be able to use as an income. That would bring some of these military families that are going to college or personnel going to college into the housing market, because they'll be able to buy a house instead of rent one. And excuse me, number 10, 9 out of 10 mortgages are either owned or operated or controlled by the United States government. Why does the banks, which are just the servicers of the loans, generally make all the rules with overlays? The government needs to say, these are the rules. If they fall into these, basically what we used to call it is, check the boxes. FHA and VA, these are the rules. If they fit in these rules or these checklists, then they're guaranteed a loan, give them a loan. But no, banks don't do that. What the banks do is they have all these overlays and they want all this extra stuff. The government, United States government, and it's us, okay? You know, our taxes were used to buy these mortgages from the banks. The banks, the majority of the time now, are just servicers of that loan. So we need to, the government needs to say, listen, if they fill these requirements, they get the loan, and that's it. That'll bring more people in too, because it'll be less mortgages that are rejected by underwriters and banks. I hope you like my video, and I hope you watch my other videos. And remember, vote for Big Al.